one final question I wanted to ask you. I'll ask it like this. If you had a magic wand and you could change any single thing about Reenes, and I know I'm saying it wrong almost every single time, but if you could change anything about, now I'm self-conscious of that. If you could change anything about Reenes as a society, and you have the magic wand, so you can assume that like it passes the political apparatus, then they'll get approved that it will happen. So you don't have to worry about that. It's a change that you can guarantee will happen. What would you change?
I feel like I would change I would have the people to just understand each other, like be more welcoming, more friendly, stop being like so worried about individual thing. Yeah, just that, and I think everything is going to work out. I think, like, because when you understand and you stop focusing on your own thing, like you can see your problems are also some other people's problems, and that you can find some solution together. But it's very like the happy thing, like, yeah. Yeah.
But you got to sit with people for a while before you realize that. Yeah, I have very rarely encountered a truly unique problem that a human has had that doesn't have some connection to other problems people have faced. As humanity, we're actually very both interconnected, but we actually face a lot of the same problems. So maybe we should work together in the solutions.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, again, to keep up with the political thing, like for me, you should, like the politic men and women should more go to see the people and see how they live. Like there's a video of, I don't remember the name of the girl, but she was like, from the right party, right wing. So she was thinking a certain type of way, like, oh, they just have to go to work and they can earn money and they can still live with the money they have. They don't need to be helped by the state with some money help. And so one guy invited her to work in the factory or something. And she realized that people really struggle to live with the salary they have, because she went to see what happened and she was so sure she was right. And she was there. She met the people. She saw the reality. So yeah, she changed her mind, and now you can see her on TV talking about this experience. So yeah, I feel like every political people should do that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I realize I told you my last question, but I'm going to have one final question, because of course another one always pops into my head. So as we're talking, you're currently on vacation in Australia. That's how we met. So you're a little bit removed from the day-to-day grind of this job, and of your life in Rennes. Where you're at now, kind of relaxing in the sun in Australia, what do you think has been some of your biggest gifts in doing the work that you have done for you personally? Like, what are some of the biggest? What do you think the biggest gift has been for you working with these kind of?
I think that I've learned a lot about how the city is working, like how a neighborhood is working, because you also have a small neighborhood council with a neighborhood office state, we could say that, state office. don't mind my English. So yeah, I've learned about that, about how decisions are made and how some people are willing to work with the inhabitants, but sometimes it doesn't happen because higher people decides before it happens. And being on holiday right now, I do miss really miss doing something for the city and feeling useful for the people that cannot be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a bit guilty that I can live this whole travel holidays, and some people are out there struggling with their lives. And, yeah, I feel a little bit guilty and privileged. Yeah.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. And it's hard because, mental health is important. Relaxing is important. If you burn yourself out, you will not be of any benefit to people in the city or in the specific communities.
Mm-hmm.
That is the other end of that. But what you're saying makes total sense. And it's also like, for me, I sometimes struggle with, certain people do not have this opportunity, but is the opportunity itself bad? And I think seeing new parts of the world is not a bad thing because it really helps us. And it's more of I wish they also had the opportunity, not I'm being self-indulgent in doing something that's benefiting me as a person. But at the same time, yeah, I can definitely get what you're saying. And I do think it does seem like dare I use this word, it seems like you have a bit of a vocation. It's like you grew up in one of these neighborhoods, you studied this, you studied stuff related to this in school, and now you're working in these kind of communities. It seems like I'm glad that you both kind of found what you're passionate about, but also I'm glad that you've been able to use your opportunities like your education and things like this to try to make the world around you better for people who might have a similar experience growing up that you did.
Yeah, you really sum up really well, because I'm really happy I found myself doing that, because at first I wanted to work in the music industry. It was always related to artistic thing. And when I enter in my master degree, which is creative approaches of public space, you could think it is urbanism or stuff like that, but it can be whatever you want it to be. So I chose it to be like more of a social thing. Like, how can people own the public space? It started all like that. Like, how do you own the public space? What do you do? What do you think about it? And if creativity can be a way to own the public space. So it started like that, and then I joined my organization, and then I realized we could do some things. Like, we can do things. And so when I started working, I was like, oh, so I was the little girl in this neighborhood who thought it was totally normal to be poor and count every single dollar, euros you have in your pocket just to end the month. And being with a single mom, I thought it was totally normal to live like that, because it was the normality in the neighborhood. But when I went to high school, I met some people from other backgrounds, and I was like, oh, so you're saying you're living your life in a house and having like a lot of money, and I'm living there. And yeah, I didn't know anything about how people can have money. Like, for me, it was only, you can have money just to do grocery store, pay your rent, and sometimes having fun. But yeah, so I realized that, and when I started to work, I really wanted to make people realize in this neighborhood that you can do something else like you just have to try and maybe meet the right person, and you don't have to keep thinking that this is the normality. This is not normal. Like normal is whatever you think it is. So yeah, I don't know what am I saying, but
Yeah.
I really like doing that.
Yeah. I mean, everything you're saying makes sense. I mean, this is only one thread of what you just said, but one thing I was thinking about was, I think this happens with kids because whatever environment people grow up in, that's often their normal for children. Even if it's, even in many cases, completely extreme environments like, abusive households or other things, it's almost a type of normal for them because it's all they know. And it's often like what you said, it's often at school, and it could be high school. I think for some it's university. I actually think for me it was university, and in the US, for people who go to the university, you often like leave your hometown and go to a very different part of the US. So like you're suddenly in a different place. But like you experience different people's experiences, and you start to be able to situate more like, how does my experiences compare with theirs? And it can completely change people's perspectives. It's often when people realize, like, for people who don't, like, how quote unquote, for some, they realize, like, for me, I realize, like, how abnormal my experiences actually were compared to so many others. But at the same time, like, I could see, like, I grew up struggling with money, and then now a key part of your job is managing the budget of the city, where you're probably doling in money that is, like, deciding how to distribute money that is significantly more than what most people make in a year, because city budgets are like that. They dole a decent amount of money at times. Yeah, I bet that would completely change your perspective on things. Or even be a bit of whiplash, too. Or what do you think?
I mean, my perspective on money really changed. And also because I started traveling, so I had a different relationship with money. And, because also when I went to uni, I was living by myself, and I had to pay rent. I had to pay, like, I understood why my mom said, "Oh no, we cannot go to McDonald's tonight. We get food at home." Like, I still say that to myself sometimes when I want to go eat outside. I said, "No, I got food at my hostel right now." I'm saying that, but and it was really difficult managing a lot of money. Like, you could buy a house with the budget, like, for the summer in Rennes. I think you could buy maybe 2 houses. I don't know. I don't even know how much you have to pay for a house. But yeah, I think it was that. And, I felt really proud of myself because, like, you know, I've been from counting my money to giving money to other people. So yeah, and now I'm spending my money.
Yeah, how has travel impacted your how you think about money?
I understood that I don't have to keep saving. Like, when I started to work for just summer jobs or whatever, I kept saving the money, and I kept telling myself I have to save the money because I don't know what is going to happen. Like, maybe I will need it. And then I started traveling, and I said, "Oh, I used my money, my saved money." So, and nothing happened. I just kept enjoying myself, making memories. So yeah, like, it's not that a big deal of spending money, but since I was really struggling of spending my savings, because I'm used to having saving in case something happened, but life happens. So yeah, money comes and goes. not in an easy way, but it comes and goes. If I have to go back to doing cashier in a grocery shop, I will go and make the money. I don't mind, but yeah, just it's made me realize that I have to enjoy life a little more and stop being worried so much about my saving and what if something happens, because obviously everything is going to happen to everyone.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, this makes total sense. I mean, money, I think money is ultimately a tool. Money is ultimately something that enables us to do the things we want.
Yeah.
And I think too often people kind of fall into money is an end. I need to make money. And it's actually more like, I think it should be more like, what do you want to do with your life? And then how much money do you need to do that? And often in that, you actually find you need a lot less money than you might think, to do the things you want in life. But it's more like, and I agree with you, I think travel kind of in various stages of my life has forced me to think about that more. You're more in the consuming side, but you're also more in the like, you're dislocated from the acquisition of I want more, and save. You're more like, you're focusing on your pleasure, and then you start to realize, oh, money is really a handmaiden to my fulfillment and the fulfillment of others around me. Yeah,
and I guess it's also, when you travel, you have priorities, like, oh, do you want to go to the restaurant, or would you prefer doing an activity that you cannot do anywhere else?
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice for me. Like, I just go to the grocery store and cook myself something and then go to do the activity. And I still will have food in my tummy and be happy and be safe. So yeah. And also, I'm really struggling with the fact that I was in Indonesia, and some people kept telling the Indonesian people, oh, you should sell it cheaper. But I was like, what's the point? Like, it's a few euros for you. It doesn't change anything. And yeah, it made me questioning about our relationship to money, because why do we feel the need to want it to be cheaper when it's only like €1 or less than €1 for us? It doesn't change anything for us. But for the people who are selling things, it changed a lot. Like, maybe they cannot have food tonight because we kept asking for less. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know the word in English when you say, oh, I want less. And keep negotiation.
We would say negotiation or bargaining is bargaining.
Yeah, that's the word.
Haggling is another one. Haggling is the like actual argument of like you're saying $3 and I'm saying $1, and then you're saying $2.80 and I'm saying $1.20. That's haggling. The back and forth.
Yeah. So they really, like, I've seen a lot of people doing that in markets, and I'm really not comfortable in doing that. So I always end up telling whatever you want. And all my friends say, but you could have got it for cheaper price. And I'm like, what? It's only €1-2. I don't care. If I've been able to come here and buy my flight ticket, I'm also able to give €1 or €2 more. Yeah, that's how I think. That's how I see it. But not a lot of people see it like that.
Mm. Yeah, this makes total sense. I think one thing, seeing different parts of the world, it also forces us to confront both how the world is different and how the global system is different. So like, someone in the US or in France, these are both places that are very given a lot of opportunities and wealth economically, and there's still a lot of inequality it's something we have been talking about in this conversation. But like, there's a lot of inequality within France, within the United States. But like, at the same time, when you see different parts of the world and you see, and for me, when I see the different prices of things, it's like, it's almost, it kind of forces us to confront how the global, it's a way to see how the global system is. And it forces us to see how, okay, so money means something different. The same amount of money means something different in these places. Yeah, and what you're saying in response to that makes sense, but like, that's another aspect of international travel that can be very eye-opening.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My relationship with money changed.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time to talk now. I hope you have a good rest of your vacation.
Thank you.
And I hope at least in a couple more of these days, you decide to do the life-altering experience while still going to the grocery store and getting food, maybe instead of the restaurant.
That's a good way to conclude this.